Hi guys, Dr. Sai here, 420 Wolverhampton. I'm going to read you an article this evening from the medicalmarijuana.co.uk. It's on chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is COPD, that many of you know it as, um, and cannabis, as explained by a scientist. COPD is an illness characterized by increased production of mucus and chronic inflammation of the airways, resulting in reduced respiratory capacity. The two primary forms of COPD are chronic bronchitis, which produces long-term cough with mucus, and emphysema, well, which leads to progressive degeneration of the alveoli, the air sacs that allow for gaseous exchanges in the lungs. All smoke irritates the lungs and aggravates COPD, but vaporized or ingested cannabis could potentially provide many benefits because of its anti-inflammatory, immunosuppressant, and broncho airway opening qualities. Right. The bronchi effects. Studies performed in the 1970s at a university at California, Los Angeles, by Donald Tashigurin have shown that both inhaled and orally ingested THC produce bronchodilation for up to 2 hours after administration. Further ingestion by the respiratory pharmacology laboratory in Paris have shown that CB1 receptor activation inhibits contraction of the smooth muscle surrounding in the lungs, contraction of the muscle surrounding the lungs into a concentration dependent fashion, offering a possible mechanism for acute bronchialization associated with cannabis intake. Although smoked cannabis also has its effects, any kind of combustion creates other lung inflammants that can be counterproductive for COPD treatment. Suppression of the immune system. Those with COPD have a heightened immune response in the lungs, and compounds in cannabis can lead to immunosuppression. Studies have shown that THC induces rapid mobilization of specific subset of white blood cells that arise from bone marrow called myeloid dendritic suppressor cells, MDSCs. These cells exert potential immunosuppressant properties by exhibiting the proliferation and activation of T cells, a component of the body's immune response. Additional studies performed at the University of South California School of Medicine support these findings, where they were determined that intraparenteral injection into the body cavity application of THC causes changes in the microRNA expression that promotes the suppression of the immune system. Other findings inducing marine marine models have shown that intraoperational administration of THC results a reduction of allergen-induced mucus production. Anti-inflammatory effects. Cannabinoids have anti-inflammatory benefits through a variety of mechanisms. The acidic cannabinoids found in the raw plant, THCA, CBDA, etc., have a greater anti-inflammatory capacity than their non-acidic counterparts, THC, CBD, etc. Specifically, studies by Ruhanic et al. Have shown that acidic cannabinoids are capable of inhibiting enzymes called cyclooxygenases, COX-1 and COX-2. These enzymes are responsible for the production of anti-inflammatory molecules such as protagonists, which contribute to airway inflammation. Recent studies performed at University of São Paulo using cannabidiol CBD have also shown some potential for improving the symptoms of COPD. These using LPS, a component of the cell wall of gram-negative bacteria, as an anti-inflammatory agent. They showed the application of CBD resulted in disease for pulmonary inflammation and improvement in lung function in mouse models of inflammation lung disease. Other studies of terpene compounds, the aromatic compounds found in cannabis show anti-inflammatory benefits as well, in particular beta-carotene, as shown to act as a dietary cannabinoid. Attuning anti-inflammatory response various tissues in CB2 receptor dependent fashion. Conclusion. These studies indicate that cannabinoids could potentially act as a means to mitigate acute attacks of airway constriction and may also act as preventative measure for patients with COPD. However, human tests are needed to confirm some of these benefits, and until restrictions on this kind of research are lifted, the deeper understanding of these mechanisms will remain poorly understood. Right, as I say, it's from the medicalmarijuana.co.uk. As I read there on the conclusion, the restrictions on the cannabis need to be lifted really, because the applications not only for the lungs, not only for the COPD, for asthma, for bronchitis, as we've said there, for the human body. I mean, as said on my interviews before, that I put on my site and everything, my heart stopped 3 years ago because of the legal highs, and cannabis has helped dramatically in restoring my body and my health, and lots of other people's health and lots of other people's bodies too. Guys, please don't take it for granted. Try